Any question? Yes. Okay, are we on? All right. Good evening, my dear scholars. Um, this special lecture series is for um, those of us in ND2. We are taking Genes 201 um, very soon. Maybe anytime soon this week, we are taking Genes 201. This lecture we go through several topics that are supposed to be treated on this course, use of English 2. Right. So altogether, we are going to have, we are going to have 4 different sections. Section A, B, C, and D. That is, the exam questions is going to be divided into 4 sections. Section A, Section B, Section C, and Section D. Now, in Section A, we have 30 objective questions. 30 objective questions. And the objective questions would not be multiple choice. It will be fill in the gaps, that you're going to supply the answers yourself. Now, there won't be options. We only have gaps to be filled. Okay, so 30 objective questions, and that will give you 30 marks. Yeah, that will give you 30 marks. And so section B, for section B, sorry, um, section B will be essay writing. We are going to give you about 3 topics, from which you are going to choose one topic, and you're going to write an essay on the topic. That's for section B. That is going to give you 10 marks. That's going to give you 10 marks. Then the section C is literature in English. So literature in English is going to give you another 10 marks. Now, this time I'm making 50 marks. 30 objective questions, 30 marks. Essay writing, 10 marks, which is 40. Then literature in English, that will give you another 10 marks, making 50 marks. And the last part, which is comprehension and summary. So comprehension and summary will give you another 10 marks, making 60 marks. So the examination is going to be 60 marks. That is the 4 divisions we have for the questions. Okay, so we have 4 different sections. So I want to welcome you back once again. Good evening, and how has been your day? We are very sorry for starting this late. We had some technical issues that we were trying to resolve. Okay, but once a quality production, that is why we have to. That's why we have to delay the projection. So uh, I'm going to be treating at least one past question. The first one I'm going to be treating now is the past question for 2017-2018 session. And I want to tell you, any question we are treating here is not a typical exam question for the examination you are going to write either tomorrow or on Thursday. Now, they are just past questions. But from the past questions, you'll be able to relate some things uh, to some other things you're going to be seeing in your exam. So let's take the first section. Now, the past question will be displayed on your screen. You'll see all of the questions, and we're going to be taking them together. Uh, section A. The instruction to section A says answer all questions in this section. Answer all questions in this section. So, question number 1. The orderly arrangement of grammatical rank scale. The orderly arrangement of grammatical rank scale elements are dash, 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 and dash. Now, don't forget, that is where we started our class discussion from, grammatical rank scale. Now, we started with meaning of grammar. Don't forget, grammar means the set of rules that guide the way an expression is formed. Sorry about that. Is it paused? We are trying to improve the audio so that you can hear my voice clearly. Okay, is it better now? Alright, sorry please. Number 1, the orderly arrangement of grammatical rank scale elements are dash, 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 and dash. You will notice that we have 5 different gaps in that question. That means you are scoring 5 marks in that question. So don't forget, grammar means the set of rules that guides the way expressions are formed in any language. English language, German, French, whatever language. So when we say grammar, it means the rules, the set of rules that guide the way you form any expression. Okay, so, and we have 5 grammatical elements in what we call grammatical rank scale. So they have hierarchy. Like I told you in class, they have hierarchy, the highest one and the lowest one. So the highest on the grammatical rank scale, which you are going to write first, is the sentence. The sentence is the highest grammatical element, followed by the clause, then followed by the phrase, followed by the word, and the last element, that is the least of all, is called the morpheme. So for that question, so the answers are sentence, clause, phrase, word, and lastly morpheme. So the orderly arrangement of grammatical rank scale elements are sentence, clause, phrase, word, and morpheme. So question number 2. Question number 2. Dash is a system of rules governing the arrangement of words into sentences. You should know the answer to that already because I just explained it now. So grammar is a system of rules governing the arrangement of words into sentences. That is in any language. So grammar is a system of rules governing the arrangement of words into sentences. So the answer to that one is grammar. Then question number 3. Dash clause largely depends on another clause for realization of its full meaning. Actually, we have 2 types of clauses. That is structurally, according to structure. We have what we call the subordinate clause and the main clause. The subordinate clause is also called the dependent clause because it depends on another clause to realize its meaning. But the main clause is also called independent clause because it does not depend on any clause to make a complete meaning. So the answer to this one is subordinate clause. Subordinate clause largely depends on another clause for realization of its full meaning. So question number four. Although Shola had paid his school fee, he was not allowed to write the examination yesterday. This is a good example of dash sentence. All right. Remember, we have two um, parameters to classify the English sentences. Now, we can classify English sentences according to structure. We can also classify them according to their functions. So we have structural parameter and functional parameter. So for structural parameter, we have 6 types of sentences. And for functional as well, we have another 6 types of sentences. So the type of sentence that we have here is uh, um, a complex sentence. Have you paused it? Okay, let's take question number four again. Sorry for the break in the audio. So question number four again. Although Shola had paid his school fee, he was not allowed to write the examination yesterday. That is a complex sentence. So a complex sentence will have one main clause and at least a subordinate clause. So in this sentence, you can see that we have one main clause, which is he was not allowed to write the examination yesterday. That is the main clause. Then, although Shola had paid his school fee, that is the subordinate clause. So the combination of the two, a subordinate clause and a main clause, that will give us a complex sentence. So the answer to that question is complex sentence. Now, question number five. Dash is a group of words with a finite verb which qualifies a noun or a pronoun. Dash is a group of words with a finite verb which qualifies a noun or pronoun. Don't forget, uh, we discussed a phrase, a clause, and a sentence in class. But for a phrase, remember we discussed that it is any group of words without a finite verb. So whenever you see a question like this and it says with a finite verb, it is only a clause that will have a finite verb. A phrase does not have a finite verb. So the correct answer here is uh, a clause. So a clause is a group of words with a finite verb which qualifies a noun or a pronoun. So that is a clause. Then number six. Uh, then that clause there is not just a clause, it is a subordinate clause, and that subordinate clause, because the question says it qualifies a noun or a pronoun. Don't forget, any word that qualifies a noun or a pronoun is an adjective. So the answer should be adjectival clause. Adjectival clause. So since we have which qualifies a noun or a pronoun, so it should be adjectival clause. Although it's a clause, but we must specify what kind of clause, what type of clause. So it's an adjectival clause. It qualifies a noun or a pronoun. Then number six, dash is a phrase preceded by to. That is a phrase preceded by to. Now don't forget, when we have to infinitive before a group of words, and that group of words does not have a verb, a final verb in it, then it's a phrase. Well, because of the to infinitive, we have we will have an infinitival phrase. So any phrase preceded by a to infinitive is an infinitival phrase. So the answer to that question is infinitival phrase is a phrase preceded by to. Infinitival phrase um, is a phrase preceded by to. So question number 7 now. A complement as an element of grammatical structure is not present in all clauses. A complement as an element of grammatical structure is not present in all clauses. True or false? I know some of you will have said the answer yourself. Now, is it true or false that a complement uh, as an element of grammatical structure is not present in all clauses? Which means it is not compulsory for us to have a complement in all structures. There are some structures that may not have a complement. So the answer to that is false. It is not true. We may have some structures without a complement. For example, I told you a verb uh, can stand alone as a sentence to make a complete meaning. For example, in an imperative sentence like go, sit, come, they are all sentences with just one word, which is a verb. So no complement, just a verb. The only compulsory element in a sentence or in a structure that is called a clause is um, the verb. So the answer to that one is false. Number 8, that sentence expresses a request, an order, a command, or prohibition. That sentence expresses a request, an order, a command, or prohibition. Okay, remember we discussed 6 types of sentences according to function. This is a functional type of sentence. So if any sentence expresses a request or it gives an order or gives a command or is trying to make somebody obey our wish, that type of sentence is called imperative sentence. Imperative sentence is used to give command or an order. So the correct answer there is imperative sentence. Number 9, in dash classification, in dash classification, a sentence is described according to its syntactic features. Now I told you we have 2 parameters for classifying English sentences: the functional parameter and the structural parameter. So when we consider structural parameter, it means the we are considering the syntactic features, the grammatical features to determine the type. So in structural classification, the answer there for 9, we have structural. In structural classification, a sentence is described according to its syntactic feature. So the answer is structural. Structural classification. That is classification of sentences according to their structure. So number 10, dash is a sentence with at least 3 main clauses and one or more subordinate clause or clauses. All right. A type of sentence with at least three main clauses. Three main clauses. Um, Remember, for a compound sentence, it has just two main clauses. And once we have more than two main clauses, it has become a multiple sentence. It has become a multiple sentence. So when we have multiple, then plus a subordinate clause, that is multiple complex. So for number 10, that's a sentence with at least three main clauses and one or more subordinate clauses. That is multiple complex. Whenever we mention subordinate clause in any sentence, you must have the complex aspects in that type of sentence. So this is a multiple complex sentence. A multiple sentence has more than two main clauses without a subordinate clause, but a multiple complex sentence will have more than two main clauses, that is at least three main clauses, plus at least a subordinate clause. Plus at least a subordinate clause. Now, before the end of this lecture series, I'm going to go through all the types of sentences again so that that will serve as a sort of reminder. So number 11, question number 11. State the grammatical name of each of the underlined expressions in the following sentences. State the grammatical name of expressions in the following sentences. Whenever we ask you to state a grammatical name, remember we're asking you to identify that group of words as either a phrase or a clause. If you see it as a phrase, what type of phrase is it? That is grammatical name. If you see it as a clause, what is the type of the clause? That is grammatical name. So in each of the following sentences, we are going to be saying the grammatical name so as either a clause or a phrase. Number 1, under 11. The man whom we nominated won the election. The man whom we nominated won the election. So what we underline there is whom we nominated. That group of words is adjectival clause. It is a clause because we have a finite verb there. It is a clause because we have a finite verb, and which is nominated. All right. So number 1, we are still on number 11. State the grammatical name of each of the underlined expression in the following sentences. So number 1, the man whom we nominated won the election. Whom we nominated, I said, is adjectival clause. Don't forget, adjective qualifies a noun or a pronoun. So we have a noun phrase there, which is the man. So whom we nominated is actually describing, it is giving more description about that subject, which is the man. It's a noun. So it is adjectival clause. That is grammatical name, adjectival clause. Then number 2, after the game, we all left the stadium. After the game, we all left the stadium. So after the game, you notice that there is no verb in that group of words. Then we are going to call it a phrase. Then which type of phrase or what type of phrase is it? That will determine the grammatical name. So it is a phrase. But you remember, in phrase we have a particular type. This type of phrase is uh, um, adverbial phrase after the game is referring to a particular time. That adverbial phrase of time. After the game, we all left the stadium. So after the game is underlined, and that is adverbial phrase of time. Adverbial phrase of time. That's grammatical name. Then number three, what Nigerians want is true federalism. What Nigerians want is true federalism. So, what Nigeria wants is a clause because we have a verb, a finite verb here, which is to want. Want. You said? Hello, please, if you can hear me clearly, put it in the comment section now, please. Can you hear me, please? Please comment. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? You can. All right. Now let's continue, please. So what Nigeria wants is a clause. But what type of clause? Remember, you can determine the type of maybe a clause or a phrase. Now, checking the position of that phrase or clause. Now, if you check that position, nothing can stand in that position than the subject. And remember, it is only a noun that can function as the subject of the sentence. So that means we have a noun clause in that expression. It's a noun clause. What Nigeria wants is a noun clause. Now, what is the function there? It functions as the subject of that sentence. So what Nigeria wants, that is a noun clause. It's a clause. Then it's a noun clause. And it is the subject of that sentence. Okay. Then, number 4, if you read well, you will pass. If you read well, you will pass. Now, it is a clause. Why? We have a finite verb here, which is read. Read. That's a verb. That means that group of words is a clause. But what type of clause? Now, any clause that starts with if is a conditional clause, and actually, if it's a conditional clause, there is an adverb of condition. So, the correct answer here is adverbial clause of condition. Adverbial clause of condition. If you read well, you will pass. If you read well, you will pass. So that we have adverbial clause of condition there. It is not a phrase. Please, if it is a clause and you call it a phrase, you will not get the mark. And if it is a phrase, you call it a clause, you will not get the mark. Take note. Does it have a verb, a finite verb in it? Then it's a clause. If it does not have, then it's a phrase. Let's continue. Number 5. The veteran, skillful, honest, and brilliant lecturer died last week. The veteran, skillful, honest, and brilliant lecturer died last week. See, we have a very long expression underlined there. But as long as it is, it does not have a single finite verb. Then it's a phrase. It's a phrase. So what type of phrase? Don't forget, that position occupied by that group of words is the subject position. So it's actually a noun phrase functioning as the subject of that verb died. So it's a noun phrase. It's a noun phrase, no verb in it. The veteran, skillful, honest, and brilliant lecturer. We only have several adjectives. Veteran is an adjective, skillful is an adjective, honest is an adjective, brilliant is an adjective. So lecturer is a noun. So all those adjectives are qualifying lecturer and no verb. Then it is a phrase, a noun phrase, functioning as the subject of the verb died. Alright, so let's move on to question number 12. Question number 12 reads, dash essay gives a good account of detailed and vivid objects or scene in such a way that a reader can see through the picture, the images painted in the words. Alright, just take note of something in that question. We have four types of essay. Four types of essay. We have descriptive essay, we have narrative essay, we have expository essay, and we have argumentative essay. If an essay is giving accounts uh, of detailed and vivid objects or scene in such a way that uh, the reader or the audience can perceive a picture, a mental picture or image painted in the words that are used. That is a descriptive essay. It is describing a particular place. You see that place in your mental picture, that is the color, the size, and if it is human, uh, the description will give you a vivid picture of that person. That whenever you see the person, you know, oh, this is the person they have described. So it is a descriptive essay that will give such detail. So the answer is descriptive essay. Descriptive essay. Now number 13. Dash essay is written to support or otherwise a particular proposition. Dash essay is written to support or otherwise a particular proposition. That is an essay that is used, that is written in order to support one side of a particular proposition. That is an argumentative essay. Argumentative essay will uh, support or against. The word otherwise means against, support or against a particular proposition. So it's an argumentative essay. So if you write an essay to argue a particular proposition that should belong to this side, not the other side, that is argumentative essay. Then number 14, dash represents the surface meaning of a word. That represents the surface meaning of a word, while dash gives meaning beyond ordinary. So semantically, we have two types of meaning. A meaning could be a connotative meaning, which means meaning beyond the ordinary usage. That's connotative. Or a denotative meaning, which means meaning at the surface level, that is the ordinary meaning of an expression or a word. So the denotative meaning represents the surface meaning of a word, while the connotative meaning gives the meaning beyond ordinary. Take note, denotative represents surface meaning, connotative represents meaning beyond ordinary, that is the meaning at the deep level of the expression. So you cannot realize a connotative meaning at the surface level. It is beyond the ordinary meaning. So it has meant another thing. So the answer is, we have two gaps there. The first gap, denotative. The second gap, connotative. Number 15. Dash drama as scripture as its source, and dash drama evokes laughter. We have two gaps in this one too. So which drama has its source from the scripture? We call that type of drama liturgical drama. Liturgical. Liturgical. Liturgical drama. That is a type of drama that has its source from the scripture, maybe the Bible. Also, if the story has something to do with a particular aspect of the scripture, that is liturgical drama. Then, if a drama provokes laughter, it is a comedy. So, number 16. Dash is a literary creation where human imagination is entangled with human activities. Where human imagination is entangled with human activity. So, a literary creation that presents an imaginary idea is actually called a fiction. A fiction. So fiction is a literary creation where human imagination. Well, now when you read some novel, uh, the story in the novel may not be something that happened really in life. It may be the imagination of the writer. So if it is imagination of the writer, it is not a true life story, then it's a fiction. Then number 17, dash is the sequential arrangement of events in a literary work. Sequential arrangement of events in a literary work. That's actually a plot. A plot. Now, it is very likely that we give you some literary terms uh, to explain them or write short notes on them. Um, you should try to uh, explain them according to the meaning we give to them in literature. So whenever you see any set of terms in your question and we ask you to um, write short notes on them, it means the meaning you are giving to them must be the meaning we give to them in literature. Let me give you on a lighter mood. I was marking a particular script where we asked students to give meaning of some literary terms, and plot is one of the terms we gave them. And that particular student who wrote, I mean, he or she explained plot as a piece of land where we build house. All right, he or she could be right outside literature, but in literature, plot means the sequential arrangement of events, sequential arrangement of events. So that is in a literary work, we call it plot. Plot. Then number 18, dash describes what a particular word or group of words expresses or represents. Okay, that describes what a particular word or group of word represent. And that has to do with many maybe semantics. The question may not be so clear. So let's go to question number 19. Colloquialism are expressions properly employed only in speech or which can have a certain meaning only in speech. All right, we can have colloquialism in the written form. I mean, in your writing, you can use colloquial words. So that means it is not only in expression or in speech that we have colloquialism. Colloquialism can be both in the written and speech form. So it is false. The answer is false. So number 20, that is not appropriate for formal writing because of its lack of acceptability and universal intelligibility. Okay, the answer is up there in number 19. That is colloquial. Colloquialism is not appropriate for formal writing because of its lack of acceptability and universal intelligibility. That is colloquialism. Then number 21, a word capable of different meaning. That is a word capable of several meaning, different meaning. We call them homonyms. So they have um, several meanings. You can give one or two or three meaning to them. So that's number 21. So, all right, that is for the objective part. So we are going to be moving on to the section B.
Okay.
The other time we had a very good audio.
Yes, sir.
No.
Hello, hello, hello.
We are on. Okay. Let's move on to section B. Now, I'm very sorry we have been having issue with our audio this night. We are trying to overcome that each. So, can you please can you signify if you can hear me clearly now? Hello, can you hear me clearly? Please, somebody should just put it in the comment section that you can hear me clearly. Can you, please? All right. Thank you. Now, section B now. Like I said, we are going to give you three topics, and you're going to choose one of the topics. You're going to write an essay. Now, what do we expect you to do with this? Now, we are going to specify a number of words um, you are required to write. Now, this time, it could be like 250 words or 200 words. So, but in this question, we have write a two-page essay. Now, two-page essay on any one of the following topics: my chosen career. Number two, the polytechnic education in Nigeria and its challenges. Number three, students unionism on our campus. Any need? So those are the three um, topics. Now, if you want to choose a topic, look at your area of interest. Do you always like to write a narrative essay or an argumentative essay or a descriptive essay? My chosen career, um, here, it is what you know, and you want to tell us what you know and why you are choosing that. Um, you are going to describe that career in such a way that we you will give us the description and reasons why you love to choose that career. That's a descriptive essay. Now, the polytechnic education in Nigeria and its challenges, that is expository. You want to tell us what we don't know. Now, um, there are some challenges that some people may not be able to identify with polytechnic education, but you are here now to tell us some of those challenges. It is expository. So you are going to present your ideas uh, with having it in mind that these people that are my audience may not understand these challenges. I want them to understand. So you are going to expose those things that you think are the challenges in your essay. Then student unionism on our campus, any need. Actually, that is an argumentative essay. You are going to argue it. Do we still need student unionism on our campus or we don't need it? So that is argumentative. Now, whichever one you are writing, don't forget there are four things that we are going to use as yardstick to mark your essay. And those four things are the things I want you to take note of. Number one, we want to look at your content. Number two, we want to look at your organization. Number three, we want to look at your expression. And number four, we want to look at your mechanical accuracy. Take note of those four things again. Now, you are not just going to write an essay. You are going to write an essay having in mind that my examiner is going to test me on these four things. Number one, my content. Number two, my organization. Number three, my expression. Number four, then mechanical accuracy. I will explain each of them. As I mean, the first one, which is content, means your essay, everything you have in your essay, does it really explain what we want you to explain? Is it within the content, that is within the context of what we want you to write? If we say, my shooting career, and your essay is tending towards another direction different from you describing your choosing career to us. No, that content is out of it. The second question, the polytechnic education in Nigeria and its challenges. Now, you redirected the focus of the question to another aspect other than challenges of polytechnic education, then the content is not correct like that. So you must write your essay within the content. Now check what the topic wants you to do, and that is exactly what you should do. That is content. Then the other one, which is your organization, you have to organize your ideas properly. How do you do that? Say, in any essay, we expect you to have a number of paragraphs, and um, like I always teach my students, whenever you pick a topic, make sure you write your outline for the topic. What do you mean by outline? The idea you wish to discuss in that essay, put the ideas down. Number one. Now, for example, the second question here, the polytechnic education and in Nigeria and its challenges. Think of think about a number of challenges. Number one, the first challenge, the second challenge, the third challenge. You have about four challenges. It means you already have four paragraphs. Then that essay is going to have six paragraphs because we have a paragraph that is called an introductory paragraph where you're going to introduce your topic, your essay. Then you have a concluding paragraph, which will be the last paragraph. So that means with the four ideas that you have itemized, you have six good paragraphs. So you now organize the paragraphs. Uh, the first idea should lead to the other idea. Then that also should lead to the next idea. And you must be able to use connectives when you are transmitting from one idea to another. So that is logical arrangement. Your organization is very important. What you have to say last, if you bring it to discuss it uh, at the initial part of your essay, that will not be okay. That will be wrong. So you either arrange your um, ideas either chronologically or sequentially. So just make sure it is sequential. One will lead to the other. So organization is going to give you some marks as well. So the third one, which is expression, in that we are going to mark your expression, your errors, grammatical errors. That is expression. So expression is very important. We are going to test your use of English in that aspect. So if you make any error, any grammatical error, we are going to ring it. That is, we circle it. And that circle means minus half. So you should make sure you avoid errors when you are writing your essay. So in the expression, you may lose some marks if you have grammatical errors in your essay. Then the last one, mechanical accuracy, that is where we mark your use of punctuation marks and capitalization. Now, there are some words that you have to write starting with capital letter. That is, if a particular word is a proper noun, then it should start with a capital letter. If you write a proper noun using small letter, starting with small letter, that is wrong. Well, that will be marked under mechanical accuracy as wrong. Then if you ask a question without a question mark, that is wrong. That is mechanical accuracy error. So those are the things you should consider. So when you have your organization properly arranged, then you can have a very good essay. Just choose. Nobody can think um, about your ideas for you, and that is why if you are a type that cheats in an exam, it is very easy for the examiner to detect that, because you cannot have the same thought, the same idea with your colleague. So nobody is thinking for you. You are the one thinking, doing the thinking. So your thought should be unique on a particular topic. So that is for essay, and that will give you 10 marks. Then the section C is literature in English. Now, for literature in English, we have tested some general aspect of literature in your objective questions. But this time around, we are going to test you specifically on any of the literary texts we have given you in class. Remember, we have recommended 2 drama texts uh, for this course, and those are Efushitan Aniwura and Stolen Seed. Stolen Seed. So those 2 literary texts are going to be tested. Now, but you are to read just one of them. If in your own class you read Efun Shetan, so you have question on Efun Shetan and Iwura. But in your own class, if you have read Stolen Seed, then you are going to answer your questions using Stolen Seed. So, but this is some of the examples of questions we can have on literature in English. Number 1, section C, number 1. The beauty of any literary work rests on the message and style of presentation of the literary artist. Justify this assertion with reference to this drama text that is mentioned here. Muyiwa Ojos have a bag of lies. That is the one they studied in that section, but not in this section now. We have Efushitan and Stolen Seed for this section. So let's say we have this question from either Efushitan or Stolen Seed. The beauty of any literary work rests on the message and style of presentation. All right, what we expect you to do here is to pick some aspect of that drama text to tell us that the way that literary entered the ideas in that text reflects the beauty of literature, the beauty of literary work. Now, how did he present the message? How did he present the idea? And what style did he use to present the idea? Now, is it um, a comedy? Is it true the way he presented the idea, showing his mood, showing his or her mood at that moment? Now, what way can you describe that literary artist has presented the idea now in such a way that it has brought out the artistic work of literature? So that is question number 1. Question number 2. The role of various characters in a play is central in the plot development. With reference to these 2 texts, identify and discuss the role played by any 4 characters in the play. That means for any drama text, let me now give you a general idea of what we expect you to do. So I know some of you have taken your time to read that drama text, either a Funcheton or Stolen Seed. Now, but I want you to put your mind back to it, that while I was reading it, what particular message have I been able to derive from that text? What message as the poet, sorry, as the playwright tried to project to the society? What message? Then apart from that, what are the themes? What are the various themes? Now, theme in any work of art means the central message presented in the literary work. So the theme, in a drama text, we can have several themes like theme of happiness, theme of betrayal, theme of um, um, corruption. We can have theme of oppression, where one particular character is an oppressor. We can have theme of oppression. We can have theme of hatred, where a particular character hates another character or some other characters. We can have theme of hatred. We can have theme of love. So we can have several themes in a particular literary work. So try to bring out some themes from any literature text that you have read. And then apart from that, try to find out the setting. For example, Efujeta Aniwura, since you know the story, has some um, things to do with Ibadan. Efujeta Aniwura is always said to be Iyalode Ibadan. So you already know the particular setting. Don't forget, setting means the time and place reference in any literary work. So the story is making reference to a particular town in Yoruba land, which is Ibadan. Although the storyline has it that Evushetan originated from Abeokuta, but you know all the activities, everything that happened in that story has something to do with Ibadan. So the original setting is Ibadan. Okay, so know something about the setting of the play. Then what way has the play or drama projected the society? So the storyline, what is it saying about the society? So what has it gotten to do with the society? So that is uh, another thing you should take note of. Those are the things I want you to take note of. So the question would be either for you to discuss the theme or the way the message in the story um, affects the society, then the way the playwright, the artist, has been able to project the society itself. So, what part of the story is showing something about the society? So, those are the things you should know, should be able to discuss. Then, the last part, I will quickly say something about that. The last part is comprehension and summary. You are going to read a passage and you are going to answer comprehension questions after reading the passage. So the way we are going to do that, um, let me, sorry, um, let me just give you a general overview, on how to go about a comprehension passage question. So whenever you see a comprehension passage, just take your mind back to when you wrote your WAEC. Anytime you are uh, given a passage in any exam, you will notice that the passage is always a new passage. A new passage. You wouldn't have come across that passage before. It's a new passage. Now, just look at that passage as a market where you have to go and buy some things. You are not buying those things yourself. Somebody is sending you to the passage. And sorry, so somebody is sending you to the market. So your passage is just like a market where you have to go and fetch some things or buy some things for somebody who is sending you to that market. So your examiner is sending you to that market. Your examiner wants you to get some things from that market. Now, there are two ways you can go about it. And those are the two methods that I've always taught my students on how to answer comprehension passage questions. Now, number one, the first method, what do you do? If you have seen that's a market, somebody wants to send you to the market. Let's assume your sister wants to send you to a market, and that market you have never uh, gone to that market before. You have never had any reason to go to that market before. This is the first time you are going to the market, and your sister is saying, "Come, I want you to go and buy something for me." You can tell your sister, "Sister, please, I'm coming. Let me go and check the market first." So you go to that market, you peruse the market, you go through the market, you check some items in the market where they are selling them. Then you can come back to your sister and say, "Okay, sister, what do you want me to buy?" And your sister will now tell you what you want to buy, what she wants you to buy. You now go back to that market again to look for those things. Although the first time you went to the market, you have seen where they are selling them, then you can go straight there to buy them. But Using that method means you want to go and read the passage first. You want to read the passage first. Then after reading the passage, you now go and see the question. The questions are what they want you to buy from the market, which is your passage. So you want to go to the market first. That is, you want to read the passage first. Then you will go to the market. That is, sorry, you will go to the um, person sending you to the market to ask for what he or she wants you to buy. So what they want you to fetch from the market are the questions. So you now go to the questions, you take them one after the other, then you go back to the passage to answer them. That is the first method. But the second method is you ask the person, what do you want me to buy from the market? Although I don't know the market, but when I get there, what should I buy? Then they will now tell you, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. That means you want to read the question first. Reading the question first means you want to know what they want you to buy from the market first. Now, I've been using that method in many of my exams in the previous time. But I am not saying that is the method you should use. But for me, it saves my time when I have to read the question first. I already know what they want me to get from the market. That is the meaning. So I will read the questions first, then I will go to the market. So while going through the passage, I will see something related to the question I've read before. I will know, okay, I have the answer to this question already. I can either underline it or answer it straight away. So those are the two methods. Use anyone you like in the two methods. Which one, anyone you think will work for you. That's what you should use. But in this case now, it is not every question that you have to lift directly from the passage. There are some questions that we want you to um, express the answers, your own idea, not exactly from the way it is in the passage. Look at question number 1 here under comprehension. Question number 1 under the comprehension passage there. How did Oshoke feel as he arrived in Lagos? Now, you may not get the exact answer from the passage. You may have to describe how he feels. You may not get it directly from the passage, but you may infer from the passage how he feels. So then number 2, why was Oshoke bewildered? That could be taken from the passage. Now, number 3, how will you describe the commuters in this passage? Now, that is your own description. You can never see that in the passage. That would be your own idea. So that's why I said it is not every question that you get the answer directly from the passage. There are some questions that are going to use inference. That is, you are going to infer from the passage what the answer could be. So from the passage, we can infer that. That's number 4. From the passage, we can infer that all road users, and we have several options there. Actually, this is not the passage we are going to answer. We are going to read in this exam. This is not the passage. So we don't have to waste time there. But whichever way, choose any of the methods. Read the questions first before you read the passage, or read the passage first before you read the questions. Any of the methods would work for you. So generally speaking now, like I promised you, to go back to some things, you cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid it. You are going to answer questions on types of sentences. So we have 6 types of sentences structurally, which are simple sentence, that is structural parameter, simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, compound complex sentence, multiple sentence, and multiple complex sentence. So for each of them, I want to remind you, simple sentence is any sentence with one main clause and no subordinate clause at all. Just one main clause. And that type of sentence will have just one verb. Then compound sentence, 2 simple sentences joined together using coordinating conjunction, either but, and, yet, still. Now, if you join 2 main clauses together without a subordinate clause, that is compound sentence. Then complex sentence, when you have one main clause and at least one subordinate clause, that is a complex sentence. One main clause. A complex sentence, we have just one main clause, not 2, one main clause and at least a subordinate clause. Then a compound complex sentence, we have just one main clause and the subordinate clause. That is compound, sorry, two main clauses and the subordinate clause. That is compound complex sentence. Two main clauses, just two main clauses. Remember, a compound sentence will have just two main clauses, not three, just two. So, but if it has a subordinate clause with the two main clauses, it has become compound complex. Then, if we have a sentence that has more than two main clauses, that is already a multiple sentence. Multiple sentence has more than two main clauses, at least three main clauses without a subordinate clause. Then if the three main clauses, if they have a subordinate clause with them, that is multiple complex sentence. That is for structural parameter. For functional parameter, we have six types of sentences. We have number one, declarative sentence. Declarative sentence is used to make a proposition, make a declaration, like I am hungry is declarative, she is beautiful is declarative. You can even deny a proposition in declarative sentence. You can say she is not beautiful. You can say I am not stupid. That is declarative. Then we have imperative sentence, which is used to give command. Imperative sentence will not have an overt subject. They always start with a verb. Go and sit down. Come back tomorrow. Tell him to see me. All those are imperative sentences. They are always without a subject. They start with verbs. Then we have interrogative sentence, which means sentence that is used, any sentence that is used to ask question or make inquiry. They always start with capital letter and end with a question mark. What is your name? How are you doing? We have WH question, polar question, we have yes or no question. I cannot be explaining all of them now, but we call them interrogative sentences. They are used to ask questions. That's according to function. Then we have obligative sentence, which is used to express compulsion. And when you want to express compulsory situation, you must see the doctor today. That is obligative. You should make sure you come with your school fee receipt. That is obligative. So when you are required to do something and it is an obligation, we use obligative sentence. Then the last one, no, the next one, which is number 5, is exclamative sentence. Exclamative sentence is used to express a surprise or sudden reaction to something, like when you say, "Oh, Jesus of Nazareth," when you say, "What a beautiful girl you are." So remember, we always have an exclamation mark after an exclamative sentence. Then the last one is optative sentence, which is used to express wish or desire. Optative. Now, I wish I have money, or if I have money, I will buy a car. That is optative sentence. So those are the 6 types of sentences according to function. So you are going to answer questions from those aspects. And don't forget, literature aspects will also be in the objective part. Now, do we have any question in the comment section so that we go through them quickly? Liturgical. Somebody asked a question here. Any drama that has its source from the scripture is called a liturgical drama. Any other question there? Okay. For those of you that are writing your exam on Thursday, you can still put up your question in the comment section. I will always be there to answer your question. Those of you that are writing your exam tomorrow morning, you may not. Okay, you can still ask questions this night till 12:30 a.m. I'm still going to be answering your questions till 12:30 a.m. Then from tomorrow again, for those of you writing your exam on Thursday, you can ask your questions in the comment section. I will still give you answer. If you have a past question, then please tell your class reps to send a reminder to my WhatsApp. I'm going to send at least 2 past questions to you for your reading. So any moment from now, I can send that. Then if you have question, if you're writing exam on Thursday, put up your question in the comment section. I'm still going to be answering your question. I'm very sorry for the um, discussion in our discussion this night. The We have some problem with the technical um, stuff here, so that is why we have been having such issue. It won't happen again. We put everything in order before the next class. So thank you for coming up online to enjoy this class. Please, if this lecture series is of any benefit to you, please put it in the comment section also. We are going to attend to questions, comments, and some other things in the comment section. Thank you very much. And above all, I wish you the best in your exams. Thank you very much. Good night and enjoy your night.